What could be the worst thing that could happen to you? For me, that thing would be called cancer, a cruel illness that takes away what you care about the most. Even though I have not experienced the pain of it, I've seen the pain of it. We wonder how this could have such an effect on anyone. I always think, why haven't we found a cure for this illness? No one wants to go through this, so everyone should push forward to find a way to cure this illness. Nearly 2 million Americans are diagnosed with cancer every year. One person out of these three will be hit with a cancer diagnosis at some time in their lives, in spite of the massive technological advances over the past half century. Although most people think that after a diagnosis of cancer it is a downhill battle from there, that is not the case. Today scientists are finding better ways to treat this illness. Finding better treatments is a stepping stone into what might be found in the future. We just have to push forward. Scientists now are making a breakthrough. At some time or another, many of us wonder what we can do to prevent cancer. We look to the foods we eat, how we treat our bodies, and exposure to bad elements that can affect our body. A protein called CD47 is found on the surface of cancer cells in high quantities. The protein prevents the cancer from being engulfed and eaten by immune cells called macrophages, which serve as the body's garbage trucks by eating old or damaged cells. The researchers made antibodies that would attract to the CD47 on the cancer cell, so that when a macrophage came along, it did not see CD47 on the cell and engulfed everything. So when the drug masked this don't eat me signal, it allowed the immune system to attack the cancer, destroying some entirely and shrinking others. Now we look at what we can do to help ourselves. Food preparation, protein and fat. Reducing your levels to 1 gram per kilogram of lean body weight will also benefit you. It will be unusual for most adults to need more than 100 grams of protein, most likely close to half of that amount. Replace excess protein with high-quality fats such as organic eggs from pasteurized hens, high-quality meats, avocados, and coconut oil. The next element we look at in food preparation is carbohydrates and sugar. Reduce or eliminate processed foods, sugar, fructose, and grain-based foods from your diet. This applies to whole unprocessed organic grains as well, as they tend to rapidly break down and drive up your insulin level. If you want to avoid cancer or currently have cancer, you should avoid all forms of sugar, especially fructose, which feeds cancer cells and promotes their growth. Make sure your total fructose intake is around 25 grams daily, including fruit. One of the most important vegetables we can use in food preparation is broccoli. Broccoli, a phytochemical powerhouse. Eat your broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables such as cabbage, kale, and cauliflower containing phytochemicals called glucosinolates, which produce protective enzymes that are released when you chew the raw veggie, rupturing the cell walls. Your body also produces those enzymes in the intestines. When raw or cooked broccoli passes through, the enzymes are activated. One of the most protective of these enzymes is sulforaphane. Broccoli is the best source of this particular compound. Scientists are researching how sulforaphane reduces the cancer risk from detoxifying harmful substances such as smoke and other environmental pollutants in the body to operating as a kind of an agent by attacking the bacterium H. pylori. We now look at how we handle our stress management. Stress from all causes is a major contributor to disease. Even the CDC says that 85% of disease is driven by emotional factors. It is likely that stress and unresolved emotional issues may be more important than the physical ones, so make sure this is addressed. The next element we look at is sleep. Make sure you are getting enough restorative sleep. Poor sleep can interfere with your melatonin production, which is associated with an increased risk of insulin resistance and weight gain, both of which contribute to cancer's virility. The next element is exercise. Exercise lowers insulin levels, which creates a low sugar environment that prevents the growth and spread of cancer cells. In a study, exercise was found to alter immune cells into more disease-fighting form in cancer survivors who had just completed chemotherapy. Researchers and cancer organizations recommend making regular exercise a priority in order to reduce your risk of cancer and to help improve cancer outcomes. Research has also found evidence suggesting exercise can help trigger apoptosis, program cell death in cancer cells. Ideally, your exercise program should include balance, strength, flexibility, high-intensity interval training. The last element in stress management is exposure to radiation. Even the small things can have an effect on your health. Radiation is a factor that we cannot cross out because it comes from everywhere. Limit your exposure and protect yourself from radiation productivity by cell phone towers, base stations, and Wi-Fi stations, as well as minimizing your exposure from radiation-based medical scans, including dental x-rays, CT scans, and mammograms. Using these research recommendations can possibly help us prevent cancer. We know that most people think that it is mostly inherited, but at the same time, some of it is because of our lifestyles. Looking at how we eat, how we exercise, and how we treat our bodies can help us. Our body is a machine that, if well tuned, can help us strive to be the best that we can be. Cancer has a way of showing itself. No matter who you are, what you do, or what you have, nothing will stop it. My grandmother was a victim to this terrible illness after 3 long battles. I wonder sometimes why these things have to happen to the closest ones to us. We wonder if there will come a time when all this will go away and we will find a way to stop this. I do have hope that we will find a way to say cancer need not the end of life as you know it. With all these advancements, we should start seeing the light overcoming this illness. We should start more fundraisers to bring in more funding in order to look for more ways to improve these methods and to do more than just help with cancer, but in turn stop the illness. Let us continue the fight to raise awareness to motivate the people to make a change. Thank you.